Every love hides a secret. Every secret carries a fault. Dark piano keys echo as the screen stays black. Then flashes of blurred shadows, a door slamming, rain falling hard against glass, a trembling hand holding a letter before it's torn in half. The voice is calm but heavy, almost like a confession. When love turns into guilt, it never leaves you. It follows. It haunts. It destroys. The words burn on screen in white letters against the darkness. Love, guilt, betrayal. The music grows louder, promising that something tragic is about to unfold. The screen fades into the soft glow of a streetlight on a wet, empty road. The sound of rain grows louder, and for a moment all we see are drops sliding down the window of a parked car. Inside, a shadowed figure sits still, gripping the steering wheel as if holding on to more than just the car. Their breath is uneven. Silence, but not peace silence, heavy with everything unsaid. A door slams somewhere. A hallway comes into view, dimly lit, with frames on the wall. We don't see faces, only hands brushing against the wooden panels as if searching for something steady. The voice returns, slower this time, carrying pain that feels both personal and universal. Sometimes the fault is not in what we did, but in what we chose not to stop. A flash of light breaks the screen glass, shattering in slow motion. The sound rings sharp, piercing. The fragments scatter across the floor. The camera lingers not on the faces of those who caused it, but on the pieces, broken and sharp, mirroring the hidden wounds of love turned sour. Next, a letter lies on a desk. Hands tremble as they hover over it. The envelope is stained with raindrops, or maybe tears. Slowly, the hand picks it up, tearing it open with hesitation, as though the truth inside is both needed and feared. The letter unfolds, but the words are never shown. Instead, the sound of a heartbeat fills the silence, thundering, quickening, as if the body itself cannot bear to read what the eyes refuse to. Then darkness. From the black screen emerges a single whisper. Every secret lives in the shadows. Waiting to be found, the visuals shift again. A phone vibrates in the dark, the light from its screen illuminating nothing but a hand frozen above it. The call is unanswered. The buzzing stops, leaving only silence. The music changes, piano now accompanied by a low string, pulling the tension tighter. Silhouettes move in quick fragments. Two figures arguing, but their words drowned by the rain. A kiss, urgent and forbidden, seen only as shadows pressed together. Then, hands pulling apart, one clinging, the other slipping away, the voice, firmer now. They thought love was enough. But love without truth is only betrayal waiting to happen. A door creaks open. The sound echoes longer than it should, leaving an empty hallway behind it. A single light flickers overhead. The shot lingers on that emptiness, reminding us that betrayal is not only in the act but in the silence that follows. A sudden rush of wind scatters papers. Across the floor, love letters, unsigned notes, pieces of what once felt whole. The camera zooms on one page torn in half, its edges jagged. The sound of tearing repeats, layering over itself until it drowns into static. On screen, text appears again. They loved. They lied. They broke. The piano fades, leaving only the sound of a heart slowing down. Darkness fills the frame again, and with it, the voice returns, this time more broken, more human. And when the truth comes out, who will carry the fault? The music rises one last time, strings crashing into the silence, cutting off at the peak, leaving nothing but a single sound, the heavy thud of a door being locked from the inside. The first section closes with one final text on screen. Culpa Nuestra, fault, and beneath it, Prime Video, 2025 *. The sound begins soft, just a single note of a piano, echoing like a memory you can't escape. The screen is black for a moment, but then faint light. We see the outline of two hands reaching for each other. Their fingertips almost touch, trembling, yearning, but at the very last second, one hand pulls away. The image freezes for a heartbeat before fading into darkness. A whisper cuts through. Love isn't always gentle. Sometimes it's the sharpest blade. The music deepens. The piano joined by distant strings, almost like a storm building far away. Shadows play across the screen, two silhouettes in an embrace, close, almost desperate. Their outlines blur into one, yet something feels wrong, off balance. A soft laugh echoes, but it dies too quickly, replaced by silence. The embrace breaks. Their shadows split apart. A new visual takes its place, a small box hidden in the corner of a drawer. A hand opens it. Inside, letters bound together with red ribbon, their edges yellowed, their ink smeared. The camera does not show the words, only the trembling hand that clutches them tighter, as if holding on to proof of a love that once was. The letters fall to the ground. Pages scatter like wounded birds. The voice returns, softer now, but colder. They believe love would protect them. But guilt never forgets. The visuals quicken cut after cut, sharp and unrelenting. A phone ringing, unanswered. A diary slamming shut. A pair of lips whispering something into the dark, but the sound is muted. A car speeding through rain-soaked streets. A window slammed shut against a storm. Every image feels heavy, carrying a secret we're not allowed to hear, but we can feel the weight of it. Then a new image. Two shadows facing each other across a table. Neither moves. Neither speaks. The silence between them is louder than words. A clock ticks in the background. Slow and merciless. Tick-tock, tick-tock. The camera cuts closer to their hands, one clenched into a fist, the other trembling as it rests flat on the table. We never see their faces, but the distance between them tells a story of love cracking under guilt's pressure. The music grows louder, violins layered with low drums. Quick flashes follow, a tear falling onto a wedding ring left on a counter. A mirror cracking as a hand smashes against it. A figure standing alone in a church, shadow stretched long by candlelight. The voice rises with the images. When guilt grows too heavy, it doesn't just break the heart. It poisons it. A single word flashes across the screen. Guilt. The next images hit faster. Almost frantic, an envelope burning in a sink, flames eating away ink. A shadow running through a hallway with footsteps echoing behind them. Two figures clashing in anger, but their voices remain drowned by the storm. The camera focuses on gestures, one hand pointing, another hand pushing away. A shoulder turning cold. The whisper returns, now sharp, edged with betrayal. Betrayal doesn't come from strangers. It comes from those who once swore to love us. Suddenly we see it, two silhouettes in the rain, close, too close. They lean in, lips nearly touching, but just before the moment completes, the screen cuts to black. Only the sound remains, a heavy, broken breath. Text flashes again. Betrayal. The visuals return, but slower this time. A single candle flickers in the darkness, lighting up a diary with pages filled by frantic handwriting. The candlelight wavers as though even the flame knows the truth should not be spoken. The diary closes with a loud snap. The music grows to its highest point, drums pounding like a racing heart. Quick cuts show a storm outside, thunder splitting the night sky, rain flooding a window pane. A car swerves on a lonely road. A scream is heard but muffled, almost drowned by the sound of the storm. Then silence. The voice returns, whispering one final truth: love, guilt, betrayal. 3 words. One story. Their fault. And ours. The piano returns, slower now, dragging each note into the silence. On the screen, white letters appear one by one. Culpa Nuestra, our fault. Prime Video, 2025. The section fades into black, leaving only the echo of a single heartbeat, slow and uneven, as though time itself is waiting for what comes next. Asterisk. The sound is sudden. A sharp inhale, almost like someone waking from a nightmare. The screen bursts alive with fractured images, glass falling in slow motion, headlights cutting through heavy rain, a door rattling under a furious hand pounding against it. The music has changed now, no longer soft, no longer patient. It is faster, sharper, a drumbeat echoing like a racing pulse. One mistake can change everything. The voice is no longer a whisper. It is a confession screamed into silence. The screen fills with quick, broken shots, a table overturned, photographs scattered on the floor, a hand grabbing a suitcase in the dark. Each moment comes and goes like lightning, brief, blinding, gone too soon, but leaving behind the taste of chaos. A figure runs through the storm, shadow stretched across the wet pavement. The camera follows from behind, close enough to feel their breath, their panic, but never enough to reveal a face. The storm swallows their footsteps, yet the sound of pursuit lingers a second set of steps. Distant but steady, the music rises, strings screeching, drums pounding. On the screen, a phone smashes against the wall, breaking into pieces. A diary is torn apart, pages ripped violently, tossed into the air. The images overlap, one bleeding into another, until everything feels frantic, unstoppable. The voice cuts through again. One choice can destroy them all. The screen flashes white. For a moment, silence. Then shadows. Two figures stand across from each other in a darkened room. Neither moves. Neither speaks. The silence is suffocating. Then suddenly one reaches out, grabbing the other's arm. The response is violent. The arm yanked away, the figure stumbling back into the wall. The sound of impact echoes. Louder than thunder, the images quicken again. A car skids across a rain-soaked road, headlights blinding. A shadow screams, but the sound is muted, replaced by the pounding drums. A glass of wine tips, red liquid spilling across a white tablecloth like blood. A lock turning slowly, the heavy click echoing like a final decision. The voice is lower now. Broken. You can't erase what's been done. You can only watch as it consumes everything. The camera shows papers being signed in silence, legal documents. Contracts, something binding. A pen drops onto the floor, rolling into darkness. Then an elevator door closes. We see the reflection of two figures inside, standing apart, not touching, not even looking at one another. The doors shut. The music builds again, frantic now. Strings climbing higher and higher, drums like thunder rolling underneath. Shadows move faster, arguments played in silence, gestures violent, hands pointing, fists slamming against tables. A chair falls over. A lamp crashes to the floor. The visuals shift to the outside world. A storm lashes against the city, lightning striking in the distance. A car drives too fast through the rain, tires screeching. Inside, the shadow of a driver grips the wheel, knuckles white. The car swerves, headlights cutting across empty roads, a sudden cut, darkness, then the sound of a heartbeat, uneven, frantic. The screen shows only a single image, a cracked mirror. A shadowed figure stares at their reflection. The glass splinters their image into pieces, fractured and unrecognizable. A hand rises, trembling, and presses against the broken surface. A drop of blood streaks across the shards. The voice is trembling now, full of fear. The truth isn't coming. It's already here. The music explodes, every instrument crashing at once. Quick flashes follow in rapid succession, a shadow running down a stairwell. Papers burning in a sink. A figure collapsing against a wall, hand covering their face. Car headlights stopping suddenly in front of someone standing in the rain. A diary page flying through the air, words blurred and unreadable. The screen cuts to black again. The music dropping into silence. And then one final line, whispered almost like a curse. There is no forgiveness for what's been broken. On the screen, words appear. White against the dark, Culpa Nuestra, our fault. Prime Video, 2025. The silence lingers, heavy and suffocating, as if even the air itself refuses to breathe. The silence is unbearable. No music, no words. Only the sound of a storm beating mercilessly outside. The screen is black for a full breath too long, and then suddenly a single candle flickers into view. Its flame trembles, threatening to die. Shadows stretch along the walls, tall, twisted, inhuman. Somewhere in the dark, a door creaks slowly open. The sound is drawn out, painful, as if the house itself is holding its breath. Then, a heartbeat, heavy, uneven, louder with every second. The first image cuts in, a shadow screaming in silence. Mouth wide, but no sound coming out. The screen shakes violently, the image blurs, then vanishes. Another cut, two silhouettes facing each other. The distance between them is suffocating. One raises a hand, reaching out, but the other turns away, disappearing into the darkness. The hand lingers in the air, trembling, abandoned. The voice returns, but now it is broken, raw, stripped of calm. What we hide in silence always returns and screams. The music slams back in violins, shrieking, drums pounding like a war. Images flash with brutal speed, a diary snapping shut, its lock clicking closed. A car's headlights illuminating a figure standing in the rain, unmoving. A wine glass shattering on the floor, the red liquid spreading like blood. Two shadows colliding violently, one falling to the ground. A mirror cracking under a hand, blood dripping from shattered glass, the sound of thunder tears across the speakers. The screen goes white for a split second, then returns to the storm. The voice rises, furious, desperate, love, guilt, betrayal, 3 chains, binding them tighter and tighter until nothing is left but blame. The music grows unbearable, louder, heavier. Quick flashes turn frantic, a door slamming, papers burning, footsteps running, a scream muffled in the rain. Every image feels like the last straw, every cut like the final heartbeat before collapse. Suddenly, silence. A single piano note echoes, slow, haunting. We see a window pane covered in rain. Red and blue lights flash faintly against the glass, police sirens, blurred, distant. The storm is quieter now, but the silence feels worse than the chaos. The camera lingers on the raindrops sliding down the glass, each one catching the faint reflection of something we can't quite see. The whisper returns, soft and chilling. This is not just their fault. It's ours. The final images unfold in fragments, a diary thrown into a drawer and locked away. 2 hands once clasped, now pulling apart for the last time. A figure walking down an empty street alone, the storm fading behind them. A candle finally blowing out, leaving only darkness. The screen is black again, but the voice lingers one last time, almost like a confession. Every love ends with a truth, and every truth leaves someone to blame. The piano note echoes one last time, fading into nothing. Then, the words burn onto the screen in stark white. Culpa Nuestra, our fault. Prime Video, 2025. Love, guilt, betrayal. The letters flicker, as if unstable, before fading into total darkness. The trailer ends not with music, but with a single final sound, the echo of a locked door, heavy, final.